Hi everyone and welcome to another beautiful episode of Mom Mics and Moments with Priyanka. Today I'm with someone whose words just don't tell stories, in fact hold space for healing, reflection and courage. Sudipti is the author and the heart and soul behind the book One Story at a Time, and she reminds us that our journeys definitely matter, no matter how small they seem. Hi Sudipti, welcome to the podcast. We are so glad to have you here.
Hi Priyanka, thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited about this.
So, Sudipti, tell us, you being a scientist and entrepreneur, what made you come in the field of book writing? या आपने क्यों सोचा कि आप इतनी प्यारी बुक लिखें?
Okay, well, you are right, Priyanka. I am a research scientist, I'm a social entrepreneur. I have my NGO Prakrit Foundation where we are making science reach society. So, author was actually never in my list, frankly. But you know what? One day I was just taking out some old journals of mine from my drawer, and I remember I have hundreds of them. You know, this takes me back to my childhood days when I remember maybe third or fourth. Since that time I am writing letters to God. You know, those letters were so simple, like, dear God, thank you for today, I'm so happy. Or maybe, dear God, today Papa came so late and I didn't met to see him. So these were those letters which were, you know, in my journals, and all this time they were the basically they gave me strength, I would say. So, and I remember, you know, during 11th and 12th when I was studying really hard for NEET exam and I wanted to be a doctor, but that was the first time that I failed. And at that time, you know, those letters I used to write to God, that, and it was my way of conversing with God. So I used to write that, dear God, I studied so hard. Why did this happen? And what should I do? And I am like hopeless now. So when read those letters today, it gave me so much hope, so much strength, that during those moments when we are really in our lowest time and we think that there's no, you know, there's no flicker of light, there's no light that is to be seen around the tunnel, around the other side of the tunnel, that time those letters helped me. So I thought, why not, you know, just connect those letters and make it in the form of book. And this is definitely not the idea was just to inspire people, those students who might fail one exam or the other, or maybe a woman who is trying to balance so many things. So this book is just, you know, a result of those journals, those letters, those conversations with God, and my way of telling to the people, telling to the world that, you know, these stories matter.
Lovely. So Diti, then when you've been writing those letters, tell me some incident जब आपको वो letters कभी helpful रहे हो, they have helped you in some incidents or writing the book, or you know sometimes you must have felt dull in your life. Some days even we do. कभी उन letters ने क्या help करा और अगर करा तो what help was that?
Yes. Yeah, actually, when you're asking this, I remember back in 2016 when we were deciding to have a baby. Saksham and me thought of having a baby now, and at this point, my career, like my PhD, was over, and I was to go into the next phase of my life. That time, we felt ready. But you know, not one, not two, but many of the attempts that we did to plan a baby failed. And then we came to know that IVF might be the only option. So we went for IVF, and at that time, even those IVF, many of the IVFs failed, and it was really one of the darkest period of my life. And at that point, because today we are talking in 2026, IVF still feels very okay and normal to talk about. But you know, back in 2016, it was not like that. I could not share this feeling, frankly, Priyanka, to even my parents, my own parents. Only my parent-in-laws knew this, but not even to them that, you know, we are going through this phase. Not even my best friends. So I remember, and sometimes I cannot talk everything to my husband also. Right. So those letters literally helped me. I used to write every day, you know, that God, please make me out of these pains. There were so many injections, hormones, so much, you know, going through. So that time I used to write letter to God that please make me come out of all of this. And you know, I used to write a letter that I want a baby, I want a healthy baby, I want to see that baby in my hand. So today, you know, when I see Suyansh and when I read those letters, I really feel that, you know, now when even there is the biggest storm in my life, I remember that, in that darkest moment, things changed.
Right.
So not a single moment is for forever. Even the dark, good time and the bad time, everything goes and everything flows with
Part
life.
of life.
So I think that is one incident I remember, and that is the entire story in its rawest form in this book. And the idea of writing that now is, because I have been meeting so many girls, so many women today who are facing infertility.
Huh.
We all know, and sometimes I feel this book and that chapter might give them that hope,
Right.
that this can come true as a miracle, and Suyansh is our loveliest miracle today. So this is one, thing. And the second thing is during the time that I faced cancer. So even cancer that time in 2022 when I was diagnosed, that was again the thing that we don't openly speak about. And that time also I used to write a lot of gratitude letters. So I think these two times were the times where this journaling and writing letters really mattered.
It held your
And
hand.
yeah, and then all of this was then stitched together in this book, one story at a time.
Lovely. So, tell me one thing, Sudipti. You've written a lovely book. You've written beautiful manifestations and your journey in it. But why have you named it as one story at a time?
वेल प्रियंका, एक्चुअली इसके पीछे भी एक कहानी है ना। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं ना बहुत एक्सट्रोवर्ट पर्सन हूँ और मुझे बोलने की बहुत आदत है। और मेरे कज़न्स इस बात से मेरा मजाक भी उड़ाते थे, क्योंकि जब भी मैं हॉस्टल से घर जा रही होती थी या कहीं भी मैं ट्रैवल करती थी, बस में, ट्रेन में, आई यूज़ टू मेक फ्रेंड्स। और घर आके मैं बोलती थी आज मेरे को मेरी एक फ्रेंड मिली। तो बोले कहाँ, कौन सी फ्रेंड? मैंने मतलब बन गई एक फ्रेंड। तो मैं वो 5 घंटे की ट्रेन जर्नी में फ्रेंड्स बना लेती थी। और जब मैं उनसे बात करती थी तो ऐसे ही कॉन्वर्जेशन स्टार्ट होती थी कि हाउस लाइफ। तो मैं अपने बारे में बताने लगती थी कि मेरी लाइफ में ये चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है। तो फिर वो भी बताते थे अपने बारे में। तो जब हम बात करते थे तो मुझे लगा कि मैं लाइफ में जिनसे भी मिली हूँ, हर किसी के पास एक स्टोरी होती है बताने के लिए। कोई भी इंसान ऐसा नहीं है जो स्टॉर्म से, ब्रेक थ्रू से या चैलेंजेस से नहीं निकला हो। एवरीबडी हैज अ स्टोरी टू शेयर। कहानियों से ही हम बनते हैं, और वो छोटी छोटी स्टोरीज स्टिच टुगेदर टू मेक दैट पर्सन एन इंडिविजुअल। तो मुझे लगा कि दिस टाइटल शुड बी वन स्टोरी एट अ टाइम, बिकॉज आई फील even my life is a beautiful narration. In this book there's a beautiful narration of small stories stitched together to make it in this rawest form possible, and that's why I chose this title.
So nice this is. So Sudipti, we all know that you're a global scientist. You work on the global level as a scientist, and then you go to the grassroots level in the villages and work with those people. कैसे बैलेंस करते हो दोनों डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड्स को?
So yes, actually Priyanka, this is the most frequently asked question in my list also, because कई बार ये मुझसे मेरे students भी पूछते हैं और मेरे friends भी पूछते हैं, कि one day we are seeing you are in New York and you represented India at a UN level in the UN headquarter, and on the other hand you actually go to Andhi village and discussing with the people. So how do I manage? Frankly, I don't know. But what I know is both of these are essential. So what I do is I go to the global world, take all the experiences. Frankly, कई बार आप मानोगे मैं वहाँ बहुत इंट्रोवर्ट की तरह रहती हूँ कि शायद मुझे यहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा बोलना नहीं है, बट एब्जॉर्ब करना है. I take a lot of learning from them. Like I want to tell you one example. When I was selected for IWA fellowship, where there were 12 people who were selected across the globe. As a result, we went to 5 countries. So we went to New York, London, Denmark, Africa, and Canada. So though in these 5 countries, there were different cultures, there were different scientists across the world, and I learned a lot from them. So when I was actually in those spaces in the global world, what I imagine and visualize is what is happening in my own country,
Right.
and what is happening here at a grassroots level. And if I will not take responsibility, who will?
Right.
I always feel that it is not worth publishing so many research papers. I have my own patent also. I'm doing a lot in research. But what is the impact if research is not going actually to society? तो साइंस को सोसाइटी पे ले जाना भी तो किसी की जिम्मेदारी है. In this journey I've met so many people जो बोलते हैं कि यार it is not easy, or it is definitely not easy. मतलब in this book you will find a whole chapter on my fellowship, the 5 countries, the experiences, and also a chapter of villages, the work that I'm doing at a grassroots level. And that is why I wrote both the chapter, to tell you what is the connectivity, why I am doing all of it, and why it is the most important thing for me. And I think it is the only reason that I can find out is that it's my passion, that I want to connect both the worlds, and somehow I manage. I really don't know how, but I do it.
So we definitely are, blessed to have you, that we are getting that new learnings from the global world in the country through you, and that should be helpful for the grassroots people. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So Deepthi, we absolutely know you have a lot of things in your plate and you've been managing a lot of things. But as far as we know, and you've told us, you're also a mother, and you're a wife, you're a daughter. Many roles you've been playing. How do you manage all the things together, and what is that one thing which keeps you motivated to do this?
So, well, Priyanka, I think this also I've learned in the journey, in the process, that, and I'm still learning. By the way, I'm not an expert on this, that how to manage it all and, come back. But one thing I've realized, actually, two things. So, one thing that I really go by is delegation. So, delegate whatever is possible, and that's why I'm able to do it all. I have a beautiful team, and I support them, and I give them all that they want to take all this legacy forward. For example, if I have to make more impact, I want a team, and delegation is one thing that I've learned in this whole process. Because as I was telling you, when I had cancer, there was this day when I had to go to village, but it was also my chemo day, and there was no other option. I had to choose between my hospital, whether I have to go to chemo or I have to attend that event in a village. And of course, I cannot go. My doctor didn't allow. I asked for postponing of chemo, but that was not possible. And then what I did was, on 1 hour video call with my team, I delegated everything. And as a result, they performed much better, frankly, than I could. So that's when I realized that delegation is the key. If you have to do a lot of things, then you have to delegate. That is one thing. And secondly, I live in the moment. I do not worry about my work when I'm with Suyansh or when I'm on a vacation. I do not think what's going on. I just leave it. And when I'm in office, then I do not care what is Suyansh eating, whether he's doing his homework. No. So delegation at times help. We can also take help from our family members. Like I can say, my husband is the best partner in it, because he always say that, so Dipti, we are 50-50 in everything. So if you are helping me in work, that is 50-50 here. So similarly, in parenting, we are 50-50. For example, we wake up every day at the same time. I go to kitchen to make his tiffin, and he take him to the washroom, and I do not know on which days, which dress he has to wear. Like on Tuesday, it's sports day, or I really don't know. He only takes care of his books, bags, everything, and he's ready, and he, takes Suyansh down. But I am ready with the tiffin, with the breakfast. So that is the level of delegation I'm talking about, and it happens both in home and in office. And I think that helps best for me. That works best for me.
So Deepthi, what if someone is feeling stuck in the present moment right now? What is that one message from your book that they should read?
Well, Priyanka, I would ask my readers to definitely read the entire book, of course. But one key message that I really want them to know is chapter number 9 that I've written, and it is on manifestation. What I believe is कि हम जो आज life जी रहे हैं, it is the one we manifested for. कुछ भी अचानक से नहीं हुआ. This is exactly we manifested, we visualized, and it is happening in the most magical way. And one thing that has truly helped me through all the storms or the challenges and the good things, good moments also, was the tool of gratitude. So gratitude and manifestation are two pillars of my life. I'll explain what is gratitude and what is manifestation. So by gratitude, I mean that I write every day all the simple and big things that happen to me every day. So I write 10, 15 things that happened the previous day, and I write them in a way that, thank you, universe, thank you, I'm so grateful to the universe. In this most simple way, I write my gratitude every day. And then there is one thing that I also write is, I also write gratitude for future. Okay. For example, this podcast is happening, and just before coming here, I've written in my gratitude that, thank you so much, Priyanka, for coming and coming to my office and doing this podcast. By the way, this is my first podcast and I'm so excited, so happy. So I've already written gratitude for this. And so as a result, I feel that I've visualized it. And it will happen exactly as I visualized. And it will happen in the most beautiful way that I want. So this is the kind of manifestation that I do every day for everything. And I think the essence, the entire thing is I've written in this book in the last chapter. And I think you should read it and then you'll come to know more. But yeah, this is one message that is from the book.
So definitely the key mantra is saying thank you to the universe. That is gratitude and manifesting positive things.
Yes.
So Deepti, we are so glad and we are so happy to know about your journey, and we are definitely going to read the book through. But let's start with a quick rapid fire with you.
Okay.
A word that currently defines your life.
Gratitude.
Tea or coffee while writing?
Coffee.
A book that changed you.
The Magic.
A place where you feel most yourself.
With my husband.
One emotion that stayed with you while writing.
I think gratitude only. I am like way into gratitude.
Pen and paper or keyboard?
Pen and paper always.
A quote you live by?
Believe in magic.
Storytelling in one word?
One story at a time.
A reminder you give yourself often?
Reminder is to pause, to align yourself with universe and give gratitude as much as possible.
And finally, what does home means to you?
Home means a happy place where I am just myself.
So lovely.
Thank you.
So thank you, Sudipti, for sharing your truth, not just your story, but your journey with us. And for everyone listening to this podcast, do remember your story matters. Doesn't matter how small or how different it is, it does matters.
So thank you so much, Priyanka. As I've told you, this is my first podcast. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to you for doing this for me. And honestly, I just want to tell you one thing. In this podcast, I didn't prepare anything. It came out in the truest and rawest form. I hope people enjoy it. Thank you so much.
We are grateful to have you here. And as you say, aapke words mein, gratitude is the one word. So I am very much thankful for you to spending your precious time on this podcast.
Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. If you like the podcast, please do follow us on YouTube and Instagram and keep showing your love. Do share it.